feel like I'm filming my first YouTube video again. Okay, so hi, how's it going? I'm back. If you didn't know, I left, kind of. I just kind of stopped making videos for like 3 weeks. So I'm sitting here, finally ready to kind of get back into it and talk to you guys about why I've been gone, because I don't know, I just feel like it'd be weird if I just like came back after 3 weeks. Has it even been 3 weeks? 2.5? I figured it'd be weird if I just like came back with just like a random review video, just like, yeah, we're just not gonna discuss it. Like, no, I needed to like sit down and like talk to you guys. So we're just gonna do like a little chill, get ready with me. I'm sitting here with my coffee in my amazing Friends mug. Can we take a minute for the Friends mug? It's like the best thing ever. I got this off of Society 6. I will link it down below because it's amazing. I get lots of mugs off of Society 6. They're expensive, but they're adorable. I'm also sitting here eating a Pop-Tart, strawberry, in case you're interested. Can you tell I'm deflecting? Okay, so we're just gonna put my coffee down and we're gonna get ready together. Probably this is gonna be more chatty than get ready with me. So if I miss anything, just it'll all be linked and listed down below. If I don't talk about anything, you know. Okay, so I'm just gonna prime real fast with my normal Pixi Rose Flash Balm. So yeah, it's been a little while. I've been having a little bit of a time lately. I don't think I've ever talked about this on my channel before, but I do deal with anxiety on a fairly regular basis, and depression, but kind of mostly just like the depression that kind of like comes along with anxiety. And if you have anxiety, you probably know exactly what I mean by that. It probably makes no sense. I probably sound ridiculous, but there's just kind of an element of depression that comes along with it, where it's just like you get so down on yourself for the anxiety that you just kind of start shutting down in other areas. So yeah, the month of June was kind of just awful. I've had anxiety for a really long time, since like middle school, and I got really good at dealing with it on like an everyday basis, but there are certain things, certain situational life situations that kind of amplify it. I've never been good with I've never been good at dealing with those situations. So that kind of started happening in June, and it sucked, and I kind of ignored it for a really long time, which, by the way, is not a good idea. Don't ignore it. It's not healthy. If you're dealing with anxiety, just face it and deal with it. Don't just say no, because that's what I did. I basically was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with you, so we're just not gonna deal with you. By the way, I moved my room around, that's why I have nothing behind me anymore. Eventually something will be over here, I think. I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, where was I? God, I'm so uncomfortable right now. Y'all just don't even know. So yeah, I basically was just like, I don't want to deal with you, so I'm not going to deal with you. I'm mixing together, by the way, the Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation with their liquid illuminator. I saw them mention on Instagram this is like a good way to add some like glowiness to this foundation, so I wanted to try it. This is not gonna work out well. Okay, so yeah, I basically was just ignoring it for a really long time. I wasn't interested in facing it, and I kind of realized it needed to happen when one day I needed to wake up early. At this point, like, I had been on a pretty good kick of my body naturally waking up at like 8 a.m. Like, I didn't have an alarm set. It just kind of like, oh, it's 8 a.m. time to wake up. Like, it was just a thing. And that had been happening for months. So when it got to the point where I was waking up at like 11 or noon, I was like, ah, fuck. Something's happening there, right? So one day I needed to wake up early. It was like, I think it was the day before one of my like upload days, and I didn't have anything filmed, so I knew I needed to wake up and film and then edit, and I knew I needed to be up early so I could actually do all this stuff. And I woke up at like noon. I was like, alright, well, that sucks, but I still got time. And then I started thinking about like actually getting up, and it literally sounded like the hardest thing I could have asked myself to do in that moment. Like, my body was just, as soon as I opened my eyes, like, I felt like I had like a ton of bricks on top of me. Like, my body was just so heavy, and I was just, like, the idea of getting up was just, sounded awful. And it was kind of like that moment where I was like, well, fuck. Okay, so I can't ignore you anymore, obviously. Gotta deal with this. So I kind of like became aware of the fact. And then other shit happened, and almost had a panic attack because I couldn't upload a video. Yeah, so the month of June just all around sucked. Okay, so yeah, the month of June just kind of sucked, and I wasn't really sure how to deal with it because I've never talked to anyone about my anxiety, really, like when it's happening. Like, I'll talk all about it when I'm kind of like past big situations of it, like now. I'm totally fine with talking about it, but like in the moment I've never been good about talking about it and like dealing with it, mostly because when like it first started, I was in middle school, and at that point my parents weren't like super open to mental illness being a thing and like anxiety, depression side of things. Like, I'm not saying they're saying like schizophrenics weren't a thing, but like anxiety and depression were kind of like, oh, it's just in your head, oh, you're just having a bad time, oh, you're just a moody teenager. Like, so talking to people wasn't really my thing, so I just kind of learned how to deal with it on my own, in my own way, I guess. Not sure why that matters. Pretty sure this is going to be a long ass video, so I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and edit it down as much as possible, but who knows. So yeah, the month of June sucked, and I kind of got to the point where I realized I needed to talk to people. I needed to let my husband in, and I couldn't just like ignore it and act like nothing was wrong, because it was wrong and I was really struggling with it. And I think he noticed, because like housework stopped getting done. I barely left the couch most days. I just got to the point where I wasn't really doing anything. So moving past that, the main reason I haven't been uploading is because of the anxiety, because it got to the point where basically one of my biggest things with when I like start getting into those like really big anxiety moments is my procrastination doubles. Like, I lose all will to do literally anything, and it sucks. But I felt so bad about missing my like upload dates, my set schedule that I like forced myself into, that I was like forcing myself to make these videos that like when I went to edit them, they were awful. Like, I was so anxious all the time that I was like not breathing correctly, so I was very like, you could just tell that I was uncomfortable, and I was like to the point where I was basically just trying to force all the information out so that I could just get the video done and over with and upload something so that I wasn't like a complete disappointment to my subscribers. But then it's like the videos sucked, so it got to the point where I was like, why am I even uploading these? No one's gonna want to watch them. They suck. And so when the video did bad, I was like, well, obviously it's doing bad. Nobody wants to watch you when you're like uncomfortable and anxious and just throwing. Okay?
You mean the video?
So I was just like super uncomfortable doing these videos, and I looked uncomfortable, and I would film all these videos during the day, and then I would sit down to edit them, and all of them sucked. So I would just pick like the least worst one to upload, but it still sucked. And so it just got to this point where I was like putting out crappy content. I'm sure you can go back and watch like my probably last month of videos, and I just looked very uncomfortable. So it got to the point where I was like putting out this crappy content, and I felt bad about it, and I was like, why am I even doing this? Nobody wants to watch me be uncomfortable and be awkward and just like throw in a bunch of information, just trying to get it over with so I could go back to the couch and go back to wallowing, and it sucked. So I just kind of stopped. And the main reason that I've like come to realize my anxiety was kind of becoming a thing again was, or the situational anxiety at least, was because it was June, and that means it was halfway through the year, which means that we were 5 months from my husband getting out of the military. His 4-year commitment is about to be up in January, and at that point we're basically walking away from our guaranteed paycheck that we literally built our life around. You know, like, we bought this house because of his paycheck, we bought our cars because of his paycheck. So it was just like, that's all ending. So, and he wants to go to school, we have to figure out that, and it's like, I knew I needed to get a job, and I've been trying to get a job for like a year, but I live in a small town where we're very touristy during the summer, so like 90% of the jobs are based around the tourist season, which is awesome, but it also means that by September, half those jobs are cut because we don't need them anymore because everyone leaves. So I knew I needed to get a job that would last me, so I couldn't get a job just like out on the beach. It would have been really easy to get a job on the beach, but I knew I couldn't do that because by October I'd be stressing 10 times more because I needed to get a new job. So I've been trying to get a job for like a year at some place that would keep me on past the summer. And getting a job for me has always been one of my biggest anxiety, like, triggers, I guess you could say. I hate using that word, but it is. It's always been a struggle for me to, like, convince people that I'm worthy, I guess. It's very awkward for me. I'm not a people person, so it sucks. And, whenever I think about, like, the possibility of getting a job, all I can think about is in high school, you know, getting a job at Target, and a week into it, just like having a complete mental breakdown in the bathroom, having a panic attack, and just like quitting. And it just like, that was one of the worst nights of my life. And it just kind of like, I always think about that and I always go back to it, and it just, not fun. So I was stressing about the fact that, you know, I had to get a job that was like 6 months from no money, basically. And so that was causing me a lot of anxiety, on top of already the anxiety of trying to get a job and having to work and do all that, which I know sounds ridiculous, but it's just kind of how I am. So I'm going to go in with the Marc Jacobs bronzer. See, I'm already like having trouble breathing. This is really uncomfortable. So yeah, the month of June was just kind of awful. It was just a lot of feeling shitty about myself and trying to ignore something that I couldn't ignore, but I didn't want to deal with it. And I just got to the point where I was just like, I have to stop. I can't do this anymore, and I can't keep putting out this crappy content for people that like genuinely are watching my videos and trying to support me, and like I just felt like I was failing y'all basically. So I stopped, which I hated, but I'm also in school, so I was trying to deal with school, deal with anxiety, deal with YouTube, deal with getting a job, and like one of my biggest things when I start getting like really anxiety moments is my procrastination doubles. Like it becomes a ridiculous amount. And so I was like skipping out on school assignments so that I could edit videos, and skipping out on editing videos to the point where I was trying to edit and upload like 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday when I'm supposed to have already uploaded, which I hate because one, videos do awful every time I do that because no one's watching them at like 9 o'clock at night, obviously. And so yeah, a lot of things were just kind of like starting to suffer because I couldn't will myself to do these things, to get off the couch and all of that. And you know, on top of that, I wasn't doing the dishes and I wasn't taking care of the dogs, and it sucked. So then finally I got a job. I have a job, I'm working, which it's amazing, and it's not nearly as bad as it has been in the past, where like I actually like the people I'm working with. I'm putting on, I don't know why I keep highlighting bronzer, I'm sorry. I really enjoy the people I'm working with. The company's really nice, you know, it's great. So that's taken 2 separate anxiety situations for me kind of like down, because I'm not worried about it anymore. So I'm kind of like starting to mellow out a little bit and kind of like readjust to life, but also at that point like I'm adding this new responsibility into my life, into my schedule that I'm trying to figure out. So I like added that on top, and I was like, all right, now I really need to take a step back. Alright, so I just added blush and highlight from this Covergirl palette called it's the Peach Punch palette, which I do have a review of all the new Covergirl and some other drugstore stuff coming in case you're interested. It was supposed to be up like 2 weeks ago, and it didn't happen, obviously. So yeah. So I got the job, and you know, I'm trying to like figure out the schedule and the new responsibility, and so I just kind of like took a step back, and I was like, let me just give myself some time to get used to this new responsibility in life, and then I can kind of come back to YouTube and come back to making videos, which I love. I love making videos, and I hate missing upload dates, and I hate not getting to talk to you guys, and just all this stuff. Like, it sucks. So I'm taking the Kathleen Lights Dream Street palette from Colourpop. So yeah, that's kind of what's been happening. I just wasn't in the mood to keep forcing out shitty content that I wasn't proud of, that I wasn't happy with you guys watching, and I knew wasn't doing great because like my video sucked. I knew that, and I felt so bad about missing out on upload dates that I was willing to put out anything just to make those work. Just so unhealthy. So I'm actually totally just gonna like scrap the upload schedule. Like I'm gonna upload when I can, when I have quality content for you guys. I'm still gonna shoot for 2 videos a week, but I'm not gonna make myself feel like shit if that doesn't happen. You know, it may be, God, I literally get like 1 million friggin' calls constantly. What? I get so many calls a day about like my car warranty or my student loan debt or all this shit, and it's like, stop, leave me alone. I don't have any of this, just leave me alone. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna still shoot for 2 videos a week. If it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna make myself feel like shit about it. I'll, you know, try and make it up the next week, and we're just gonna go from there. I'm just gonna upload. I'm gonna upload when I have good video, guys. I'm gonna upload when I have good videos. Oh my god, why can I not get this sentence out? I'm going to upload when I have good videos for you guys to watch. Wow. Yeah, so I really want to know what you guys want to watch. If you want me to go back to doing more like clothing videos, if you want more literally anything, I will do whatever you guys want to watch. That's the whole point of me doing this channel, is for you guys to watch my videos and enjoy them and get information from them. So I want to know what you guys want. Why does my like cheek area look so unblended on camera? I look like a friggin' doll on camera, and yet it's all like perfectly washed together in person. It's so weird. So yeah, just let me know down below what you guys want to watch, because I mean, it's the whole point of all this, right? I'm not doing this. Well, I am doing this for me because I do enjoy it, and I would do it even if nobody watched my videos. I mean, I did it for a year before people started like genuinely watching my videos, but I want to make what you guys want to watch, and I want to make you guys happy and give you the information on products that you want to know about. So yeah, I'm working, which I'm super excited about. Like, I want to work. That's not, I don't want to sound like some like privileged little brat that's like, oh, I don't want to work. Like, that sounds awful. Like, no, I want to work. I want to make money. I want to provide for my family and help my household. It's just, I don't know, traditional jobs are kind of a struggle for me. But, you know, it's time of being an adult. Obviously, YouTube is a long ways away from being a money-making career for me, so I can't just sit on my ass and wait for that to happen. I have to do something in between, and I'm fine with it. And it's not like I can't make time for it, because I know like half of YouTube has a full-time career outside of YouTube. There's definitely time in the day for it. I have time for it. I'm not working full-time or anything like that. It's just learning how this new responsibility works into my schedule. But beyond all of that, I've also been dealing with my dogs. So, Mufasa the Pomeranian, which you guys have met, he has a lot of behavioral issues. I did not focus on training him when I first got him. I got him when I was in high school, and I didn't really know anything about owning a dog, training a dog, anything like that. And me and my mom just kind of let him run wild, and so he was never like fully house trained, and he was never fully like trained in anything. He knows how to sit. That's about it. So we've been trying to like get him on track of like fully housebreaking him, and he's got a lot of anxiety issues, which don't help because he can't be in the rest of the house because of our other dog. They don't get along. We have to separate them, which sucks. We're trying to work on like a solution of like how we can keep them separated but not like him totally like fully locked in the room. I don't know, we're working on it. But so that sucks. We've been dealing with that. And Lupin, the pit bull, he's had a lot of health issues from pretty much the beginning. He had mange, or we thought he had mange. It turned out to be like a chronic skin infection that basically can't be healed. He's basically like allergic to the world. So we've been dealing with that pretty much his entire life, of like his belly just being fire red constantly. If we don't deal with it, if he's not on certain medication, if he doesn't get certain creams, he ends up like getting like blistery and all of that. And then he developed a secondary skin infection, which basically it's like, the vet explained it like it's basically dog acne, where he's getting these like pimples on his skin underneath the fur that when they like pop, they basically cause the fur to fall out because like the infection happens. So he was losing like massive chunks of fur all over the place. So we've been dealing with that, and we can't seem to get that to go away. So now he's got 2 infections that we're dealing with on a constant basis, which is just, it's hard, you know? But it gets worse because he just had a seizure a few days ago, and it was terrible. Like, I don't do well in those situations. My dogs are my literal life. They are my children. I treat them better than I treat myself most days. And I don't do well when things go wrong with them. I break down immediately. I have no control over it. It's just like a reflex of just like, fuck. And it's just like constant, I can't handle it. Which I'm really thankful that my husband Paul can. He is honestly such a freaking rock. It's ridiculous. He like takes control of the situation. It's just like, you break down, that's fine, I will deal with it. So basically it was like, I got home from work, I took him outside, I left him outside for a little bit so he could do his business, let him chill for a little bit because he loves being outside. Even though he's like allergic to the world, he loves being outside. It's his favorite thing. We just give him a lot of baths. So I brought him back inside because he started barking at the neighbors, and I went to the room and I was hanging out with Paul for a little bit, and we finished like the last 20 minutes of an episode of Vikings, which we've been obsessed with lately, by the way. If you haven't watched Vikings, it's so good, and it's like based on a true like Viking community, I guess, because it's on the History Channel. But anyways, we finished like the last 20 minutes of an episode, and I went back into the living room because I was gonna get something, food probably, and I kind of like happened to glance over at the living room to where Lupin's bed was, and he was like laying on it, and I was like, hey Lupin, you want some cheese? Because I was gonna give him some medicine, and like he didn't respond to me, and he was kind of like looking up at the ceiling, and he was just like scanning the ceiling really quickly. It was very weird, and he like wasn't responding to me, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, something's wrong. And I like went over there and I called Paul out, and basically he was just not responding to us, and he was very like, his eyes were glazed over, and like we knew he was like there because like I was scratching him and his tail was wagging, but he couldn't like look at us, and he wasn't like responding to us like he heard us. So I of course broke down. We called the vet, and it was like they were closing in like 20 minutes, and they're like 45 minutes away from us, but they were like, you know, we'll stay open, just bring him in, it's totally fine. I don't want to do a shimmer on my lid, so basically I just took the brow from this palette in case you're interested. So we like rushed him to the vet, and they were like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like he was recovering from a seizure, and he couldn't walk, by the way. Like when he finally like started coming out of like the glazed eyes, he was like trying to move and he couldn't walk. His like back legs were like totally limp. He couldn't do anything with them. So they were like, it, you know, sounds like he was coming out of a seizure when he came out. So basically we have no idea what's happening. He got blood work, and that came out totally fine. So there's nothing like that we know is wrong with him right now, which kind of sucks because as weird as it sounds, I wish something had come back on the blood results that was like, oh yeah, it's this, so we can just treat this. But at this point, it's kind of like, we don't know what it is. He might be epileptic. It might have been a one-time thing. We don't really know. We just have to sit there and wait and see if another one happens. And if more happen, then he's probably epileptic, and then we can treat him. But at this point, it's just kind of like waiting, which I'm not a patient person. I don't do well with like waiting for things to happen. So yeah, I've been stressing about that. I just filled in my brows with the ABH Brow Wiz in Granite, by the way. I've been stressing about that, and I've been trying to like be by his side as much as possible. And it was really hard because like the 2 or 3 days afterwards, he wasn't himself, which totally makes sense. Like the seizure just takes so much out of a dog that they just kind of like shut down basically. So he had no energy. He didn't want to do anything. He wasn't up for food. He wasn't up for playing. He just wanted to lay on the couch and do nothing. And when he did get up, he was just very like walking around like he didn't understand what was happening, and like he was very confused. So yeah, we were dealing with that, and it sucks. So just, you know, my world's been interesting lately, and it's just, YouTube had to take a backseat for a little while. Real quick, I'm gonna throw on this mascara. This is the Flower Beauty Lash Warrior. It's been like my go-to every single day. Alright, and to finish off the look, I'm just gonna throw on my Revlon Ultra HD lip color in HD Sand. Okay, so this is the final look. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble, basically, for a really, really long time. I'm sorry if it got boring. And actually, if you made it to the end of this video, I have a giveaway for you guys. So it's nothing crazy big. It's just, you know, a few pieces of makeup here and there that I've set aside for you guys. I'm not going to tell you like what's in it because I want it to be a surprise for the winner, but basically all you have to do to win this box of makeup is to be subscribed to my channel and just leave me a comment down below letting me know what videos you want to see from me. That's all you gotta do. So basically that is where I've been. I am very, very sorry for basically just disappearing for 3 weeks. It sucks. I hated every minute of it, but I needed to give myself the time to relax, refocus, kind of get used to new life situations, and just kind of get over my funk. So I'm back. I'm gonna do my best to stay on track. Like I said, I'm not gonna give myself a filming schedule anymore. It's just, it's too much for me. I can't handle the, I don't want to say the responsibility. I can't handle the pressure that I put on myself for doing it, because I know y'all probably don't even care. I don't know how many of you even noticed that I wasn't uploading, but I notice when I don't upload, and I care that I don't upload, so I can't put that pressure on myself anymore, so I'm getting rid of it. So I'm still gonna upload. I'm gonna be trying to be consistent with it, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys liked today's video. I hope you don't hate me for my honestly bad excuses. They're not good excuses. They never are, but it is what it is. It's my life. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to enter my giveaway down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Well, I didn't even tell you. I will announce the giveaway winner on, let's just say August 1st. I will announce the giveaway winner. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.